Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 18 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Paul Woods, and it's his birthday! Happy birthday, Paul. Hope you're having a great day, and he's been watching us for like 7 years. You the man. Alright, so Paul wants to know, with this group of jokers left, who would I choose to go to the final 2 with me? That's a great question. I think a lot would depend on the kind of game I played. But again, there's also those people that, you know, you can always take to the final 2, and there's a really good chance that you're going to beat them. I would have to agree with you, Paul, that Michelle would be one of those people. She hasn't done much in the game. She hasn't made huge moves, and she's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. So I think I would go with Michelle. Let me know who you guys would pick in the comments, and if you want to be house guest of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, so let's catch up with what's been going on in the house. So they had the Power Veto competition yesterday, and everybody except for Natalie was playing, and when the feeds came back, they were dressed up like Christmas elves, and it turns out there was a reindeer in the backyard during the competition, like a real, live reindeer, which Paul did not even know was a real animal until he saw it. Okay, friendship. Anyway, it was the stay or fold competition, so, you know, you gotta, like, count how many objects, or, like, guess how many objects, and then you either stay or fold, and Nicole was the big winner, so she won that HOH and POV this week. Whoa, stepping up our game. So Corey and Nicole were chatting in the HOH room about the competition, and apparently Corey threw it at one point. I don't know what round it was. It wasn't the last round, but he was trying to make sure that Nicole wasn't going to get eliminated, so his guess for one round was 1 billion, and apparently Big Brother even asked him, like, are you serious? Like, is that your real guess? Is that what you're going with? He's like, yep. He stayed in for that round and was eliminated so that Nicole wouldn't be. Okay. So anyway, Victor joins them, and they're all celebrating Nicole's win. Woo! They're happy that Michelle didn't win, James didn't win. So then Nicole's saying that she still wants Michelle out this week. She wants to stick with that plan. So then they're like, yeah. So they're talking about what Corey could possibly do with his bribe. They feel like they're in a really good spot this week, and, you know, they're racking their brains trying to figure out what to do with this thing. So Nicole's like, I think that you should save it for the HOH competition. Like, let's not just waste this. Because, you know, Corey's like, I want to make people do stupid shit for this money. So then Corey's like, honestly, I don't think anybody's going to accept $5,000 to drop out of the HOH competition. Like, it's so late in the game already. Like, who's actually going to do that? $5,000 isn't even that much money. Yeah, it is. But he's saying, like, he doesn't think anybody's going to take that bait. So then he's saying, I want to give it to you, Nicole, on Thursday to get you to break the tie to vote out Michelle this week. I mean, she's planning on doing that already anyway, but, you know, he wants to give someone the money, and of course he would like to give it to Nicole. So she's like, I don't know, we'll see. So Victor leaves, and Nicole and Corey continue to discuss their options moving forward. So Nicole's like, honestly, like, sorry, that was the wrong person. Honestly, like, we can get rid of anyone we want this week because, like, we hold a lot of power. So they're going through their options, and Nicole's saying, my parents are probably screaming at the TV this week for me to get rid of either Paul or Victor. But I don't want to do that. So Corey's telling her, it's fine. You can beat them in competitions. You beat them both on Thursday in the HOH. You beat them in this Power of Veto. So they're saying, like, to be the best, you gotta beat the best, which, I mean, I agree with to a certain degree, but, like, this is a freaking TV show, a TV game show for money, okay? You don't have to, like, be all moral or whatever. Like, come on. Just freaking try to win the money. But anyway, Nicole decides, like, she definitely wants Michelle out this week because if Michelle were to stay and win the next HOH competition, she would definitely nominate Corey and Nicole. Alright, so then Paul goes up to the HOH room, and he's like, you totally don't have to use the veto on me. I don't want you to feel obligated. I can stay up on the block. Like, I trust you guys to keep me this week. And she's just like, Okay. So then James and Nicole were chatting, and James wants to know, what are you going to do with the veto this week? So she's like, I'm not going to use it. And James is like, oh shit, does Paul know that? And Nicole's like, yup. And James is like, oh shit. So then James is saying, like, I really want to hang out with you up in the HOH room, but Paul and Victor are always up there. And she's like, oh my god, I know. They have been spending a lot of time up there. This whole week it feels like it's been freaking James, Natalie, and Michelle in the London bedroom, and the other four up in the HOH. Like, I feel like it's always like that this week. So then Nicole's like, yeah, they're always up there, and it's kind of, like, ridiculous or whatever, but I think she does actually feel that way a little bit because she's used to freaking having her alone time with Corey. They're always in their nest in the Tokyo room, and now, you know, they're in this community HOH room, and the guys are always up there with them. So then it's Paul's turn to talk to Nicole. He proposes this alternative plan. He's like, I want you to know I'm totally cool with staying up on the block. I trust everybody to keep me, but, you know, we could put somebody else up there and set ourselves up for the double eviction, which, by the way, there's no double eviction this week, but they're all convinced that there is. Okay, so he's saying, here's the plan. You use the power of veto on me, put up Natalie in my place, so it would be Natalie versus Michelle, and then, like, us guys, don't tell them who we're gonna vote out, so they're, like, panicking all week, they're all off balance, they don't know what's going on. We still stick to the plan and vote out Michelle, but then Natalie and James are going to be, like, all shook up Elvis style for the next HOH competition because they're going to, you know, they just had a week of freaking out and they didn't know what was going to happen. So Nicole's like, yeah, I get that. Like, I get what you're saying, but I don't want to put anyone else up on the block. So, no. All right. So Paul's saying, that's fine. Again, totally cool with staying up on the block, but I'm going to go pretend that I'm upset because I want to cover for our alliance. So he's going to be all mopey moperson. Alright, so Paul decides it's time to, you know, get over all this shit with Michelle. So he pulls her aside to chat. They go to the have-not room, and he's like, look, Michelle, one of us is going home this week. And I don't want to end our time here on a bad note. So he's telling her, I want you to know I'm not going to campaign against you this week. And then they start, you know, hashing out their crap. So they talk about a lot of different stuff. This conversation went on for a very long time, over an hour. And Michelle's like, I know that you told Nicole that I'm targeting her. Like, what was that all about? And Paul's like, whoa, I didn't tell her that. Did you forget when you stood up during the live show and freaking called her a snake? Come on. Like, she knows that you're after her. And, they go through the infamous atheist comment, which we didn't even see on the show, but we heard about it on the feeds, how Michelle called him an atheist in her nomination speech, and then the clothes touching incident, and then the C-word fight incident. So they talk through all that stuff, and basically they were saying, like, we're very similar people, we say it like it is, and, like, we know how to push each other's buttons, so, like, I was trying to hurt you, and I was trying to hurt you, and then Michelle's like, I didn't like when you called me a bully, blah. So, I mean, they're just going through all their crap. But Paul turns it around. He's like, I like you, Michelle, because you're not afraid to blow stuff up. We're making good TV here, and that's great. So then he also lets her know, last week I really appreciated when you stayed up all night with me to study for that Power Veto competition. You didn't have to do that. Like, your game was not at stake there, but you stayed up, and that was really cool. So they pretty much make up. I don't know how genuine it really was, because later on Michelle was telling her crew about the talk, and she was just like, I want free clothes from Paul. But anyway, I mean, they're going to be cordial now, I guess, for at least 5 minutes. So then Michelle's saying, like, I think I'm going to be the one going home this week, and Paul is totally playing dumb. He's just like, what? No. Like, are you on drugs? Like, I'm definitely going home. Alright, so then James, Natalie, and Michelle were chatting, and James was like, honestly, guys, my gut is telling me that Nicole really does want Paul out this week, and Michelle, you're going to be fine. So the girls are telling him, like, no, we still want you, James, to go and talk to Nicole, make sure, you know, confirm this, because we need to make sure it's all good. So James is like, I don't know, I don't want it to be unnatural, like, if the situation or the opportunity arises, fine, but he doesn't want to be weird about it. They're acting like they don't even freaking know Nicole, like, they're supposed to be working with her, and they've barely talked to her all week. But anyway, Natalie's saying if Paul doesn't go this week, he's going to win this whole damn thing because he's a freaking Paul. So then Michelle's talking about her plan if she does stay. And she's like, yeah, if I win HOH, I'm going to nominate Nicole and Victor. Hold on to that for later. Okay, so today, let's talk about what happened today. I'm going to be for real with you guys. It was a really slow start to the day. The morning sucked. But then something amazing happened. Okay, so at 2:41 p.m., if you want to flashback, the house guests were chilling outside, you know, just taking in rays, hanging out in the pool. And then, you know, they were talking about the movie The Revenant, Leo DiCaprio. Sure, great, whatever. But then they hear this buzzing noise. It's like, zzz, they look up and they see a freaking drone. A drone flying over the Big Brother backyard. I mean, I feel like this is our first drone encounter on Big Brother, right? Like, we've had banner planes, we've had that friggin' megaphone guy, but a drone? And not only was it a drone, but apparently, we didn't see it on the feeds because, like, they don't want to give attention to that or whatever. But from what the house guest said, and from Twitter, we learned that this drone was carrying a small blow-up doll with some sort of message written on it. So the house guests could not see it clearly. They were trying to figure out what it said. So, I mean, the feeds went down for a little while, and you know Big Brother's always like, don't talk about what you saw, whatever, because, again, they don't want to give attention to that person, and, you know, I don't know, they don't want that shit to get out. But, and usually the house guests don't talk about it because they don't want to get in trouble. But today, oh my god, they were talking about this drone and this blow-up doll all freaking day. So they were trying to figure out, like, what it said and if it was game-related or not. Apparently, I don't know if there was something going on in the CBS lot or, like, somewhere else near the house, because earlier in the day they could hear someone, like, on a microphone or something. I don't know. There was some sort of event going on nearby. So I don't know if it was related to that or what. Well, I mean, I know now, but they didn't know. Okay, so, of course, Natalie thinks that someone was trying to insult her. She was like, did the blow-up doll have big boobs? Like, are they making fun of my body? What is that? Oh, my God. So then they were saying how they were trying to piece it together. They said it had dark hair. They saw the number 1 written on there. Somebody thought they saw, like, a T word with 4 or 5 letters. But if you go on Twitter and you search BB18 drone, you will find some more information. So apparently it said JUR 8, and then the next line BBS18, and then the next line number 1. So, like, nobody can even figure out exactly what this means. As far as I know, the person has not come forward and said, like, this is what this means. So, I mean, there's been a lot of speculation, but I have no freaking clue. Obviously, Big Brother Season 18, but what the hell is Juror 8? What? Okay, but thank you, Twitter, for providing us with the actual message. Also, if you've searched that on Twitter, you'll see that somebody posted some video footage from the drone. And, I mean, you don't really see much. At the last second, you see, like, a little blink of the Big Brother backyard. But, I don't know, it's kind of cool. Okay, so then Natalie, James, and Michelle were talking in the London room, of course, and they were like, maybe the doll was supposed to be Paul or Victor, because they said it had, like, short, dark hair, and they were saying maybe that means, like, don't trust Paul or Victor. Of course that's what they would think. So then, back to the game. Michelle wants to talk to Nicole after the power veto ceremony, and she wants to tell her that America obviously wants Paul out because he did not get the care package when he was in trouble last week. Corey got it, and Corey's just freaking sitting pretty right now. So then they're telling... Oh, she wants to tell Nicole that if she wins HOH, that Victor is her target, which is funny because just before she was saying, like, I'm going to put up Nicole and Victor, but obviously she's not going to say that to Nicole's face. So then she's saying if Paul or Victor are here, though, and they win HOH, they're going to go ahead and put up James and Corey, which isn't true, but she's going to tell Nicole that. She probably does actually think that. I don't know. So then James is like, Michelle, it's going to be fine. Paul is going home this week, and he probably knows it. Like, he must know, right? So then Michelle's like, yeah, that's probably why he's been sleeping so much. Oh my god. They actually think that Paul's going home this week. Okay. Have you seen how much they've been hanging out together? What? Okay. So then, meanwhile, we've got Paul, Victor, Nicole and Corey chatting in the HOH room about the drone. So Nicole is getting super paranoid because of this drone. She's like, what if this means that Michelle's not going to go home this week? I don't know how she arrived there exactly, but that's what she's thinking. And then she's like, maybe it was telling us that we need to target Natalie, like Natalie's target number 1, because they're saying maybe Natalie was the blow-up doll, and it had the number 1 written on it. Oh my god. So then Michelle... Okay, we're going to come back to Nicole and Corey later, but first, Michelle was having a freaking breakdown today. Natalie was doing her best to comfort her. Michelle started complaining about how her sisters at home are probably going through all of her stuff and touching all of her clothes in her room, and like she's going to be home in 20-something days and she wants everything to be just right. She's freaking out about that. Are you asking for your sister to have another episode on Twitter and totally trash you? Wait until Michelle hears about that. But anyway, then it transforms into she's over everyone in the house's fakeness. She doesn't want to hang out with any of these people except for James and Natalie. And then she's talking about how she feels ugly, and there's probably all these screen caps on the internet of her looking like Buzz Lightyear. I'm sorry, it's like not funny, but it is funny. Oh, I can't. Okay, I'm not saying she looks like Buzz Lightyear, but you know what I mean. Okay, it's just funny. So then Natalie's comforting her, and she's like, you're beautiful, and you were born beautiful, you never needed surgery. Again, ridiculous, but it does make Michelle feel a little bit better. So then Michelle's saying towards the end of her crying and stuff, she's scared this week because she's up on the block and she doesn't know what's going to happen. And Natalie's like, well, James' gut is telling him that you're going to be safe this week, so, like, we should trust that. Oh, I can't. So, I'm having my own little breakdown. So then Michelle's saying, Victor's a traitor, he's a snake, he shouldn't even be here, he was evicted twice. Like, I can get her being upset that Victor was evicted twice already, but, like, don't be calling him a freaking traitor. You evicted him twice. Why do you think he's gonna work with you? Come on now. Okay, I'm still trying to recover from the drone thing. So then Nicole and Corey were chatting on the hammock, and Nicole brings up how James, Natalie, and Michelle have barely even talked to her all week, so they must think that Michelle is staying. Like, why else would they not be talking to her? They're supposed to be working together. But Nicole, again, she's like, is Michelle actually safe? Like, what's this all about? So she's paranoid that maybe Michelle is safe. Maybe the other side does have Victor, and Victor's gonna vote out Paul this week. Victor voting out Paul? Working with the other side that just got rid of him? What? So then Corey's like, alright, I figured out a way we can use this bribe. What if I use my bribe on Victor to ensure that he votes out Michelle this week? Do you honestly think that Victor's gonna vote out Paul? What? I mean, it is kind of nice in a way, though, that they want to use this bribe on Victor because they feel bad because he really needs the money. So they're saying, like, it would be really cool if we gave it to him. And I have to agree, like, that would be cool of them. And then Nicole's saying, if we use the bribe on him, it's really going to bring the four of us closer together, meaning them, Victor, and Paul. And it'll make everyone involved feel more comfortable because she'll feel better that Michelle will be going, and because, you know, she trusts that Corey's going to vote out Michelle too. And then she'll be the tiebreaker. And Paul will feel more comfortable up on the block. I don't think Paul's worried about Victor, but okay. So they want to offer the bribe to Victor in a few days. So that should be interesting. They also feel like, you know, Victor will be less likely to turn on them in the future if they give him this $5,000. So I guess I'm still thinking about that drone though. It's just like, can you imagine looking up and seeing a freaking blow up doll flying by? Like, what the frig is that? Okay, that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments, and until tomorrow for the Power Veto ceremony, much love.